I'm gonna call this one transparency. So, first and foremost, this is my first video that I am doing without a partner or someone that I'm having a discussion with. So this is, I guess I'm a little more comfortable than I was at the beginning for sure. So welcome in. And the inspiration for today's podcast was me having a conversation with a friend a few weeks ago now. And she's a close, dear friend, a person I love and trust. But anyway, we were talking, and at some point, we came to the conclusion based off of her opinion that my persona online was a bit on the innocent side. And I'm like, damn. And I had been pondering over this for a little while. And I'm just like, I don't really want that to be people's takeaway, because even though I would assume that visually I don't appear to be innocent, even if it's what I'm saying, I just wanted to, basically backpedal a bit and bring out my transparency. And going back to the root of the word, transparency, if we're just talking about a particular object, that's being able to see through something, see clearly, or being able to project something on the screen. So this is me coming to you guys, not hiding anything, not, deflecting from the true individual that I am. Because the one thing amongst all things is that I am very confident in the person that I am. Now, there are a lot of things that I strive for, but there's also a lot of things that I understand that I'm not necessarily ready for, or I have more time to, at least that's how I see it. I feel like I'm going to live a long life. And, some people may argue it's based off of statistics or your, ethnicity or your, or hereditary issues in general, I guess. But for me, I know that I'm going to live for a long time. That's just what I got for you. That's what I feel in my soul, and then with, also aligning with my purpose. But anyway, I digress. My point is that there are things that I strive for. There are things that I've done, and I understand that they do give us sure results, especially depending on what it is that the desires that we have may be. But I also do fall back. I have my highs and I also have my lows. Sometimes it's really difficult to deal with those temporary emotions that I always talk about. It's hard to deal with, the impending doom versus the actual stresses in life. Some things are just stressful thoughts that pop up. And then we have impending doom, which are things that are happening to us. Like there's no way to stop them. Like it's inevitable, right? But yeah, so this is my first time, coming as an individual on video, live, live to me. It won't be live to you guys, but it will be live to you soon. And just allowing you to understand my perspective. And over the last few weeks, really the last couple months, it's been difficult. And I've talked about this a little bit because I've been going through a shift or a transition in my life. I moved, I got a new job. I didn't even want to work for anybody for, that was kind of it. I did not want to get another job. But then I revisited the idea and I'm like, you know what? I'll just work, keep my cash flowing in while doing these other projects on the side. But at least now I know what projects I'm working on outside of work. Whereas at one point I was working for a company and I was so deep into the company and the company's vision that I wasn't able to understand where I was headed in life. I didn't know what I wanted to do outside of that, or not even really that. It's not even that I didn't know for sure, but I also more than anything was just having a hard time with having energy to do anything productive or creative outside of work. Like that was the difficult part. So now that I'm working again, I'm going into this different transition in my life. And it's been hard kind of like staying focused and staying straight edge. So there's been times where, I've picked up habits that I don't particularly care for. But, it's like I can't beat myself up because I'm going through a phase. I can identify that as a phase and slowly but surely get myself away from it. And those are the type of things that I talk about too in my podcast episodes is more than anything being able to identify what problems you have. Nobody's going to be 100% perfect. There's always going to be so many different ways that even if we are doing everything fucking right, on the other hand, there are still so many different things on the list that could be done better, you know? So this idea of being transparent is you guys as my audience understanding that I am giving information. I am hoping to direct your minds in a positive or more focused direction, but I am not a guru. I am not a cult leader in any way. My goal is to allow people to think differently, allow people to broaden their perspective. And a lot of times what happens is that when we are broadening our own perspectives, we're actually able to see outside of ourselves. You know, we can, in conflicts, we can see other people's perspectives. We can see how other people may have assumed one thing and that's causing them to react this way, and this whole cycle of bullshit, right? So my goal ultimately is to empower people and allow people to understand how to look within, how to redirect those thoughts, redirect the way that your actions, how do I want to say this? Redirect the way that your actions lead you to your doom or lead you to your success. The goal is to try to have more options and more thoughts leading you to success, leading you to where you actually want to be. But obviously, everybody gets off track. Everybody gets off course. Everybody gets fucking tired. As of late, for me personally, I've been off track specifically because I've had to work hard on patience and forgiveness and just these different little things that I've been dealing with personally. And so the journey gets rough, okay? And it's absolutely way more easier to go off on somebody when you're pissed off, to, you know, slam a door or whatever. You know, I've actually had a few temper tantrums in the last few months here just because I've needed to recenter myself to get back on track, you know? So that's pretty much why I'm making this video today, guys. I'm going to be, like I said, I'm going to be coming up with a lot more videos, topics, collaborations. I'm always looking for new people that are willing to share their story. But like I said, the biggest thing that I'm focusing on here is people understanding who they are from within, hopefully from a spiritual perspective, but I understand that language sometimes scares people. It fucks with people. So I get it. But understanding who we are as individuals from within, right? As within, so without. So it has to start from within in order for us to understand on the outside who we're interacting with, how we're interacting with people, you know? It's literally a step-by-step process. And, you know, with the different traumas I've told you guys about, this has been a working progress over the years. So I'm always getting better, but then sometimes I landslide, you know, I backslide just a little bit. But at the end of the day, I'm going to get back on track. And that's ultimately what I want you guys to take away from everything that I've done thus far. So when it comes to transparency, this is who I am. There's no need to hide. There's no need to, you know, create this alter ego, if you will. That's not the goal. I am who I am. The people that know me know who I am. And I try to be as authentic as possible, you know. So yeah, I just wanted to make that video for you guys today. Something short and sweet. I'm actually going to be aiming towards 10, possibly 15-minute videos moving forward. So this is something that you can get used to. Enjoy.